Today we're going to talk about Georgia, Jake Fromm, Mathis, and of course James Coley, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. So it's OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time, and today we're going to talk about Georgia football. And there's a few things that I found interesting about Georgia over the course of the spring. Now, sans the Justin Fields fallout, everything has been pretty cool. I mean, I didn't really get a whole lot out of the weed arrest, and I get the whole 420 thing, and I think they were caught with like less than an ounce of weed, and I'm not really in the business of yelling at people who get arrested over weed, but that, whatever. I'm really interested in what's going on with James Coley in the offense at Georgia. I expect the defense to be what the defense is. Glenn Schumann and what Kirby Smart has built over there. I mean, Glenn Schumann's a linebackers coach, but I have a lot of respect for Glenn Schumann because of what he had to say at the Jim Thorpe Award banquet, especially about DeAndre Baker, who was the Jim Thorpe Award winner. Defense we'll talk about later, but right now, Mathis, the offense, Jake Fromm, I find all of that interesting because the word out of Georgia is that the offense is going to look different, and that's both good and bad. I think Chaney was doing a pretty good job. I also think that DeAndre Swift being a feature back is going to be a lot of fun, but, you know, Zamir White's still there, man. Let's not forget about that. Still, DeAndre Swift had over 1,000 yards rushing, and he was really good, like Jake Fromm was really good, on a particular down and distance, right? Second down was the money down for Georgia. This is from a piece by Seth Emerson in The Athletic that I found really, really interesting in that Georgia averaged 8.3 yards per play on second down, which was second only to Oklahoma. This is how I kind of fell into that. And they were so good that that was also the down on which DeAndre Swift was best. He averaged like 9 yards per carry on second down. I think Elijah Holyfield was at like 7.9 yards per carry. And that usually is true if your offense is balanced. I mean, there's a number of really good details here that I want to key on as we talk about how good they were on second down. Now, this is all according to Sports Info Solutions, which is where Emerson got his data from. And it's not a sexy down because first down, everybody wants to know what's going to happen on first down. And then third down is money down because, well, you're either passing or you're running depending on what your down and distance is. If it's third and long, everybody knows you're throwing the ball, so forth, so on. But again, the running back's really good. Fromm was also excellent, averaging 10.2 yards per attempt on second down, which is fifth in the FBS. Maybe that's another reason why Justin Fields decided to transfer. And better than his average of 8.8 and 7.2 on first and third down, respectively. He passed for 11 touchdowns on second down last year, which is, again, filthy. But the one that I really want to focus on is Georgia's internal goal, according to Fromm, is to have 70% conversion rates on second down. That's really, really ambitious as the FBS average is 33%, and Georgia was only at 43.8% last year, according to ESPN Stats and Information, which was third behind Oklahoma, and here's the trivia question, Texas A&M was number one in that category. I mean, I guess, whatever. But this also comes into play, right? In the unofficial SEC East Championship, you know, de facto, Georgia or Kentucky, Georgia led 7-3 in the second quarter when on 2nd and 17, Chaney caught the defense off guard with a run call. Swift ran for 20 yards, right? That ended up turning into a win for them. Auburn. Bulldogs were only, trailing 10-6 early in the second quarter, facing 2nd and 9 at the Auburn 34 when Brian Herrien ran 14 yards. 3 plays later, Georgia scored to take the lead for good. South Carolina, Mecole Hardman had 2 big second down plays, 30-yard run in the first half that set up Georgia's second touchdown, and a 34-yard catch from Fromm in the third quarter. So I'm telling you those stats to show you why this stat matters on the football field. I know that some of us, including myself, kind of get caught up in the advanced analysis of college football, but some of this stuff has direct correlation to wins and losses, as I was hoping to demonstrate by talking about those things, including this stat, which I found really interesting. Georgia averaged 8 yards per play after a missed field goal. Like, that's ridiculous. Third down was its undoing as Georgia was 0 for 6 post-missed field goals, despite 4 of those 5 plays being 5 yards or fewer in conversions, right? So, a lot of this is to say that they're really good on second down. Also, that Dwan Mathis might figure into what is going to become an evolving offense according to James Coley and, of course, D'Andre Swift and Jake Fromm. They want to get a little bit more dynamic. They want to get their tailbacks more involved. D'Andre Swift was smiling about this in his interview. You can watch it on YouTube, whatnot. But I found that to be terribly interesting because it seems like Dwan Mathis does a lot of the things that Justin Fields was doing last year when they allowed him to do it. And in the way that I am critical of what Georgia does with its quarterbacks and that Justin Fields wants to be a pro football quarterback and you need to develop him, I don't think Dwan Mathis much cares. Because at 6'6", 210 pounds, he's enormous, one. And of course, he's been really good. Like, Fromm was really, really, really high on him, saying, Dwan, he's explosive. I think he converted 3 out of 4 first downs with his legs. 3 out of 4 in a row. The guy can run the ball. He can also throw the ball 70 yards. He's going to be a great player. Also, Jake Fromm has done a great job of being Jake Fromm in these instances as he's run off Justin Fields, he's run off Jacob Eason, and now he's supposed to be grooming Dwan Mathis. So we'll wait and see how that goes. And Mathis, along with junior college transfer Stetson Bennett, they're the guys that are going to be backing up Fromm. But none of us believe that anybody other than Jake Fromm is going to be taking snaps as the starter at Georgia. And I believe he's a dark horse for the Heisman Trophy in a way that a lot of people do not. I know that Trevor Lawrence, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts, those guys kind of top the list, along with guys like Travis Etienne. And we can go into a few more running backs and so forth and so on. But I think Jake Fromm might get more of the offense. Like, he might get more keys to what he can do under Coley, who has an ACC background. Worked with Jimbo Fisher, worked with Al Golden, and we know about him coming out of Miami and the really great things he was doing there. I think that Georgia could be better offensively than a lot of people think. Not to say, you know, that they're going to be explosive in the way that Oklahoma's explosive, but getting a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more unpredictable in their play calling and maybe throwing a few more bubble screens to these really talented running backs that they have where these long handoffs, as they're called. I think that could be a really cool thing for them, and Georgia could become sexy offensive football. I hope. I think we all hope. We all know the defense is going to stand up because it's Kirby Smart's defense and we know what he's capable of. But one of the things I like most about Coley is that he was an offensive assistant with Nick Saban when he was at Miami. And all these guys that have ties back to Nick Saban usually end up being pretty good. Okay, that's it for me. Doses.